I'm here in WebLab on code.org, and I have two HTML documents. This one's called Animal Gazes. It's my index.html. And then the other page is page2.html, and you can see it's got this kitten on it here. And what I want to do is make a link on this first page that goes to the second page. So to do that, I'll come down here and make sure I'm in between the body tags and do an A tag. And inside the A tag, I'm going to say href equals and quotation marks. Inside the quotation marks, I need to put the file name where I want the link to go. So I want it to go to page2.html, so I'll type that here. And another bracket. So this portion of the tag tells me where I'm going. And the next part is what you want the user to click on to go to that place. So I'm just going to write the words red cat. And then you'll close the A tag. And you can see the red cat link pops up. I'm going to go ahead and test that to make sure it's working. And it takes me there. The next thing I want to do is adjust the styles. You can see that this is by default blue font, and it's underlined, and it's kind of small. So in order to adjust those styles, we're going to need a style sheet. So right here is where you add style sheets. When I click add CSS, it's going to default with new-1. You can tell I've done this a few times before, so it defaulted as new-3.css. I'm going to right click now and rename style.css. You could leave it, but it's more standard this way. So by default, it already has a white background, black font for your paragraphs, and a bold font weight for your H1. All three of these things don't really do anything, so to make something show up, I'm going to change this white background to red. No, my cat's red. I'm going to change it to green. And when I do and refresh and save, you'll notice my page doesn't turn green, and that's because this style sheet is not yet connected to any of my HTML documents. So let's do that quickly. To connect them, you'll need a different link tag, and that one goes inside the head. So it looks like this. Link. This part tells the web page what type of document you're linking to, and then the next part will give it the actual file name. So that's where I need this style.css in. Oops, I clicked on it. Style.css inside of quotes, and then close that bracket. And as soon as you do that, those two pages are connected, and you see the background turn green. Now you'll notice my other page is not yet connected. It's still this color. If you wanted them both to respond to these styles, then you would need to put this in the head of the other document as well, which I can go ahead and do. I'll copy, and I will paste. Very Christmassy. Okay, so the green background was really just to test out that it was working, and it is working, so I'm going to put that back to white. In fact, I don't really even need that rule at all. So that's going to go. I don't have any paragraphs in this example, so that one's going to go as well. And you know what? I don't really need any H1 rules, so that one's going to go as well. So now I have an empty style sheet. And what I really want to do is make some rules for this link right here to make it look a little more original. So since that link is an A tag, right here, A, I need to make a style rule set for A. So I'll just type A right here. And I'll go ahead and open and close curly braces, and then hit enter a few times to give some space for some rules inside. So one thing we might do just to make it easier to see is a font size colon maybe 30px. You can add a font weight. And notice you're putting a colon between in the middle there, and you're putting a semicolon at the end, and the whole thing is surrounded by curly braces. And now I think I'll add a color, and maybe we'll make it red to match our cat. if you're interested in other colors, you can just make a new tab and look up. There are hundreds of color names and millions of color options that aren't named. Alright, so that looks okay. If you wanted to get rid of the underline, you could do text decoration, and you have some options, but none is an option, so you can get rid of that underline. Now, if you wanted to hover over the link, you can see how your mouse turns into a hand there. If you wanted to change colors on the hover, we would need a separate rule set. So after this curly closes, you can come down below and say A:hover. Open and close your curlies again. And this time, upon hover, I want to do maybe green. I'll save that just to make sure. And now when you hover over it, you get that color change.